That was a nightmare
Tested,
and a half.
tested, still testing, testing.
Just a testing.
We're testing. Oh my God. Wow. Well, we're just going to leave all of that. Welcome back to
Yep.
Oddities. I'm Cassie.
I'm Kelly.
And welcome back to Strange Town. And as per
Do, do,
usual, ba
do.
da 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 da. All of our shit's in the description. Bye.
Bye.
Deuces. I'm keeping it short because what the hell just happened with everything?
It was so much chaos and unacceptableness.
Yeah,
Ness.
it was
Like,
not great.
okay, here's. Oh, and now apparently Firefox is not responding, and this just might cut out completely. So
Oh my god.
I'm not going to touch a damn thing and just hope for the best.
Okay.
If I lose you, just keep it running and I'll call you
I'll
back.
just I'll just talk to myself a bunch. I do that all day every day anyway.
I love that part of editing when shit cuts out.
Oh yeah, I know.
What's so frustrating is we actually, except for my dyslexia, had a pretty problem free bonus episode recording.
We did. It was very smooth and then
But
this
then it was piled into
and
this.
then it was everything. Um I um I just can't with how today's going with the so we talked about this on the bonus episode. I feel it's important to talk about this on this episode to give everybody an idea of where I'm functioning at today. I
Oh.
went out in public. I have two piercings in each ear. I went out in public wearing hoops, but put one hoop in the second hole in one ear and one hoop in the first hole in the other ear, and no other earrings. And I walked around like that. And then on top of it, I think I've developed a nickel allergy, and I have this horrendous rash on my neck and chest. So, also found out in between recordings, I'm wearing two separate socks. Like two. So,
So that's how Cassie's is functioning. Also, hey guys, if you want to follow along, follow us on social media. Follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook, follow us on TikTok. We didn't say any of this.
I said it's all in the
Fire.
description.
Oh, did you? I missed that. See how we're functioning today.
It's all coming up roses. All according to plan. But yes,
This is some post retrograde bullshit.
all of that, what Kelly said, just all of that.
Follow, like, subscribe. I'm done.
Help us grow and do this for our jobs full time.
We really want to, and we had a very good year last year, and we want to keep that going into 2024. So do it.
I'm we're not above threatening you apparently. So that's fine. Mildly threatening. That's kind of our vibe here on Oddities, which is cool.
Kelly's hitting the done button.
Lightly threatening. Um so aside from done, how's my birthday? How were your holidays? Holidays.
You know what? Really good. But you know what's really funny? I forgot to mention something from a few episodes back, and I want to mention it
Oh
now.
my lord. Okay.
So, remember how Michael took me on that really fancy dinner?
Yes, very fancy.
I did not let the listeners know I did, in fact, try escargot, and it was
She
delicious.
tried some escargot. Was it like a butter sauce?
It was buttery and garlic and just freaking
I'll tell
delicious.
you right now, slap some butter and garlic on literally anything and I'm here to party. Fucking butter and garlic
I
for
had
life.
three.
No,
I had three.
not one, but
Because
three
it,
snails.
cause it came in, it was six total.
Oh, so
So Michael
halvesies.
had three and I had three. We went halvesies on that, and
Yeah.
it was delish. Michael had the duck. I had the lobster. The restaurant gifted us this like delicious cocoa mousse cheesecake thing.
Wow.
It was. My mouth is watering. So
You guys are like,
I had a glass of wine as big as my head. It was
wow.
great.
Just like two sophisticated bitches. I love that.
Yeah,
And
it
now,
was. It's definitely gonna become our place. We've decided.
wow. Well, I mean, Could you like sneak pictures sometime? Because like in my mind, I'm picturing this fancy French restaurant that Corey and I ate at on our honeymoon on like the Sandals property. And I
Yes.
doubt that was anywhere nearly as nice as this place. I mean, you sent me the picture of the two of you guys looking adorbs, but like there's not much.
And here's the thing, it was so low key and
Oh,
gorgeous,
was it?
like in that
They were like fully
it
French, where it's like, oh, we're French, but like we're low key about it and like just naturally
yeah, and
beautiful.
on the outside it had just this really beautiful like stonework, and on the inside it gave cabin vibes.
Oh, I wouldn't have expected
I
that.
don't know how to explain that. It was so. I'm sending you a link to the website.
Oh, love that. Okay, I'll check it out later. That sounds, dare I say it, très bon. Wait, if I was French, I'd be like, très bon, or something like that.
Tribal.
Trace bon.
They also we didn't get to see this because when we went it was pitch black, but they have a winery on their grounds. They make all their wine.
Neat. Can you just go
Is
and
that
like,
not like so freaking cool?
that is,
Yes, so you could do wine tastings, and they do weddings there.
oh my God, vow renewal, bitch.
Yeah, we definitely talked about it.
Oh my God, love
So
that. Love that. Dude, you should just do a vow renewal and just have everybody get sloshed during a wine tasting and just call it a day.
right, like why not?
I mean, hell yeah. Wow. Well, that's all fun and happy. Um,
Yeah. So that's like a month overdue, but that's how that dinner went, guys.
but here we are. You know what? Better late than never. Just like a fine wine, it gets better with time. That
It
story. It
aged.
aged. How were your holidays?
Fantastic. I really loved everything. I told you last week what I got, which is just really silly.
First of all, I don't think you've mentioned though what you got me for
Oh,
Christmas.
on the podcast, no, we haven't.
I Kelly got me my new favorite
It's really silly.
like sweatshirt sweater thing. It's it's got the little like wagon from the Oregon Trail, and it says "Get in, bitch. We're gonna die of dysentery," or Get in, loser, not get in, bitch."
Yep.
I love it so much. The way I'm so tempted to wear that on like my next report out call for work.
Why not?
Would probably get fired instantly.
Oh yeah, because the first it's in the big letters, bitch.
Get in, loser. We're going to die of
Yeah.
dysentery. Yeah, I love it so much. It's my newest prized possession. So thank you, bestie. Well done.
You're welcome.
Um,
I was actually really excited about that. I was like, this is too good not to get her.
it's amazing.
Like,
It's amazing. Um, yeah. So you know what? And I said
and
Oregon.
actually, wait, I don't know that they know what you got me. Do they know what you got me?
The patrons know. I don't know if this crowd knows, but if they know, then you're gonna know
Well,
again. And if you don't know,
yeah.
now you know.
Cassie got me the greatest little mug that has. So we always joke and say one day we'll be neighbors, but it's not a joke. It's
It's
serious. One day
serious.
we'll
One
be
day we'll be
neighbors.
neighbors. Yeah.
Yeah, and not only like is it perfect, she put my favorite color and her favorite color,
That's
and
what we
then
do.
she put California and Pennsylvania on there, and it's Kelly and Cassie, and then it's just like a little
Little thing, hearts connecting. A little.
connecting because
Yes,
we love each other.
we do.
And then she got me the greatest little self care package that smells so friggin' good. And by the way, that lip balm is
Oh,
phenomenal.
good. Kelly's just been huffing the shit
I
for
love it so
weeks.
much.
So
Yes. So fun fact,
you're like, so
we
fun
have
fact,
this
I'm
candle.
high right now because of it.
We have it came with this great candle that smells amazing, right? We don't light candles in our house because our cats
Because
like to light
cats.
themselves on fire.
Yep, yep,
So we have a candle lamp
yep.
and it heats up the candle. Oh my gosh. Every day.
Oh, God, yes. I love it.
Every day. It's been and it hasn't gone down at all.
Oh, good.
Like at
Oh, it's
all.
going to
So
last you.
that candle's gonna live forever.
Oh, good. That's how it
I'm
should
so
be.
excited.
Excellent.
Yeah. But everything in that package was amazing, and Cassie gave me strict instructions to make Michael take the kids somewhere else so that I can have a day of pampering with that package.
I did. It's
Yep.
it's things we need. And by we, I
Yes.
mean you.
It's necessities.
It is necessities. So
It was extremely thoughtful, and I love it.
thank you. I'm glad you love it. What
And yes, I do huff the package.
I would too. It sounds great.
It smells so good.
What else were you going to share that you were saying something else that you wanted to share? It was a silly gift.
Oh, it's just funny, and I think like everyone in my family thought it was funny that I asked for it.
Ah, yes.
My mom asked me what I wanted for Christmas, and I like look, I've been married for 10 years. I've never owned an iron. I wanted an iron for Christmas, and she thought that it was funny I was asking for it. She asked me like if ours was like breaking or something. And I was like, "No, I just don't own one." And she thought it was the craziest thing that I didn't own an iron.
There you go. I'm thrilled for you now that you own an iron. Like that's great.
Yeah, and I used it for the first time this week. It was really
Was
exciting.
it did it work well? Was it good? Is it like
Yes, it was awesome.
solid ass iron? That's
I
good.
felt like a grown up.
That's awesome. She's grown up, kids.
Yeah, look at me.
Look at her
All grown
go.
up.
Well, that's great. I'm glad it was good holidays for you. You all deserve
How
that.
were your holidays?
My holidays, they were good. They
That
were.
was really good.
Thank you. They were like very chilled, low key, a lot of fun. It was great seeing both sides of the family, and we made really cool homemade sweatshirts that I will wear all the time for the rest of my life.
Why haven't I seen them?
You're right. I should send a picture. They came out great. And we went to see the Polar. I volunteered for the Polar Express at the theater, and we all wore our sweatshirts to the theater to watch the Polar Express.
I need to see photos of this.
we didn't take a family photo wearing the sweatshirts, which was like a grave error on our part, but you know.
I don't care about the family photo. I need to see it.
Okay, we'll send them. Well, I'll have mom and
I'm excited about this.
I'll have my parents take photos of their sweatshirts so I can send those to you as well. And Christmas Eve and Christmas Day were great. They were, exactly what we wanted them to be. Our annual spiked hot chocolate Christmas Eve drive to look at lights was top notch this year, as was the commentary. And the unfortunate side of things is a couple days after my dad came down with COVID, and then my mom came down with COVID, but Corey and I are fine. So there were, but the good news is,
Sorry, mom and dad.
sorry, mom and dad. The good news is they are recovering nicely, and they did not get like seriously ill or anything. Knock on wood. They have managed to go without getting it all this time, just like Corey and I did, just a couple months back. So
Yeah.
I'm glad they're fine because that was a big concern for me. But all's well that ends well. Now it's 2020 faux, and we're here for good times and good times only.
Yeah. It's my, like, I'm now hearing it's not if you get it, it's when you get it. And I hate it. I hate that so much.
What do you? Yeah, I know, right? Because it's like,
For COVID.
yeah, like it's just like, or people could still not get it if they want to continue to be
Yeah.
careful and whatever. It's although honestly, like we've been careful and then it still happened. It just, I mean, you know what it's like. You too. So these things happen. But all's well that ends well. Everybody's okay. That's what matters. I'm over my mystery illness almost from a couple weeks back. So we're gonna take the wins where we can get them.
Yeah.
Now that we've hit our usual lucky 13, I think it's exciting to say we're here with our first listeners episode of the year. Yay!
Also, you're not in the witness protection program.
No,
Like, I can see you.
I adjusted my desk ever so slightly. And behold,
It's different.
I know, here we are.
This is 2024.
This is
All
2024.
right, back.
We're back after a short technological error again. We're
Yes.
ready to party.
Party with the first listeners episode of 2020.
That's right. Now, I do have to say, shout out to James, listener James, writing in. He didn't write in with a story, but he did write in to teach me how to say Oregon. I refuse to say it. I refuse to say it the correct way. It is Oregon and will forever be Oregon, because when I say Oregon, it feels unwell in my mouth.
It's hilarious. I love you.
Oregon Trail for life. So, anyway, thanks, James. Appreciate it. And he was worried about coming across obnoxious. You didn't come across obnoxious.
You did not at
I
all.
really appreciate the help, but you know, old habits die hard, and whatever else is the saying. So, I'm gonna kick us off with our first one, right? I was supposed to go first?
Yep.
Okay. Coming in hot.
Then me, then you, and then me.
We're alternating. Let me fix my screens because something's amiss.
Technical difficulties everywhere.
Remiss, amiss. Okay, here we go. All right, this is from listener Marissa. Thank you, listener Marissa.
Thank you, listener Marissa.
Okay. She says, "Hello, spooky bitches," which was such a great greeting. Hello, spooky bitches, and I mean that in the most enduring way possible. I first heard Cassie and Anna, parentheses, I love Kelly too, by the way, just as much, parentheses,
Thank you, Anna.
as
Or thank you, Marissa.
as yes, as guests on a cryptid podcast I happened upon and began listening to your podcast. That would be Josh, my friend Josh's podcast out there. So go ahead and listen if you guys haven't already. It's great. And she says, I've listened to every one of them and even joined Patreon only to support your channel. Thank you. I want to tell you about my own supernatural experiences when I was a child. It has been 30 plus years and I still remember every moment clearly as it just happened yesterday. Everything I'm about to tell you is true and happened to me. It occurred between February of 1992 and July of 1993. Now I am dying, pun intended, to tell you my ghost story. Oh! All right. Let's set the stage. I grew up in the 80s and 90s in a picturesque, historical, small Texas town. Think Mayberry with cowboy boots. It has the whole downtown square with 200-plus-year-old building around a beautiful stone courthouse. The town was established in the mid-1700s because of a natural spring that rich people believed back then had healing powers. First of all, this town sounds beautiful. I'm just saying. Okay, she goes on to say, I was a weird kid. Same.
Same.
A tomboy, an outcast. In the 4th grade, when the other girls did book reports on Ramona Quimby, I dressed in frilled dresses. Oh my God, I can't read. I did my book report on Frankenstein and dressed like Dr. Frankenstein. First of all, vibes. Okay? That's the only energy we need in our lives. Side note, just so happens that was the year I found my first book on cryptids and mysteries at the book fair. Book fair.
I was like, what's a book affair?
The book affair. The book fair. And first read about the Mothman and the Curse of the Hope Diamond. I love that she first read about our Lord and Savior, the Mothman. Yep. Love that. Mothman. Second side note, when I lived in D.C. and first went to the Smithsonian Museum of Natural History, I practically ran to the stairwell and went straight to the gallery where the Hope Diamond is on display. And I have to say, it really is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. And every time I went to the museum, I had to see that beautiful cursed gem. If I ever get to go to that museum, first of all, I'm going to dork out so hard because I love that shit. But second of all, I'm going to be all over that cursed ass shit. You know I'm going to be. 10,000 pictures to your ass if you're not with me. Like, it's how it's going to roll. Anyway.
That's how it should be.
Indeed. Back to our story. In a town of old money, we didn't have any. Same. We lived several miles outside of town on a dirt country road. It was an old house, run down on 15 acres. It was my older sister, my younger sister, and my father. My parents were divorced. Mom lived about a mile away. My father's parents lived right next door. The houses were at the front of the property near the county road, and the back 12 acres were heavily wooded and fenced off for my aunt's 2 ponies. Back in the days of no internet or Netflix, my sisters and I would spend a lot of time playing on the property, collecting rocks, climbing trees, and just running through the woods. Frankly, it sounds like a good time. There was underground water, and sometimes sinkholes would open up that we would have to watch out for. That is my own personal hell. Sinkholes scare the shit out of me.
We would have to watch out for.
Okay. Anyway, good on you. Glad you made it through the sinkhole situation. The most interesting place on the back of the property was the Slaughter family cemetery. Really, not kidding at all. That was the family name. Coolest family name.
Right?
John Slaughter was born in 1836. He, his wife, their children and grandchildren, and a few other relatives are laid to rest in this family cemetery. An historian told us the family owned hundreds of acres of our county in the late 1800s. But the Slaughter family was not the first souls to rest. Oh my God, laid to rest there. There were a few rough square stones that you could tell someone at some time had tried to carve words on them. They were obviously grave markers. And when the Slaughter family came into the area, they based their family cemetery where those lost names were already buried. So already, spookala bookala, to set the stage. Growing up, I had heard family members talking about, quote, seeing ghosts on the property. The praying boy, the little girl without legs, the man in chains. But that's a story for another day, my dears. Now we begin Marissa's ghost story. 1992, February 28th. I remember it exactly because the next day was leap day, and I was 11. It was really cold. We did not have central heat, so I had laid down to sleep on a cot in the living room in front of the gas heater. It was really freezing that night, so I had several layers of blankets and quilts on the bed. I was almost asleep, eyes fluttering, when suddenly the entire pile of my blankets lifted up and away from the bottom left side of the bed. I was laying on my right side, facing away, and I absolutely was very wide awake and absolutely frozen in place. I wasn't even breathing. The blankets came back down, and I thought it over. Then all of my several blankets rippled again and again like a wavy potato chip. It must have been only seconds, but it seemed to last forever in my young mind. I just got chills again remembering. Then it was over. Once I finally began to breathe again, I began screaming for my father, who of course did not believe me. That was encounter 1. So after encounter 1, I had some worries to say the least. I started sleeping with a flashlight under my pillow and made sure I was always within arm's reach of a lamp. About 6 months had passed. I would hear footsteps sometimes. I would just run out of the house. Things calmed down, false security, I guess. I was sleeping in my room, which was at the end of a long hallway. My younger sister's room was off the center of this hall, with a bathroom separating our 2 bedrooms. My bunk bed was against the far wall, so I could not see down the hall. I woke up in the middle of the night and saw the glow of a light coming from the hall, and I figured my sister had woken up and turned a light on. No big deal, right? Nope. As I was trying to go back to sleep, I rolled over and looked back toward the open bedroom door. Whatever was manifesting that light was full-bodied and about to come into my door. The light lit the entire door frame. I pulled out my trusty flashlight from under my pillow and flicked it on. Whatever was making that light stopped right before it came through the doorway. I carefully reached over and turned on the lamp. No idea how I had the courage to even move at that point, but as that lamp lit up, the hall went dark like nothing was ever there. No sleep for the rest of the night. First of all, no sleep for the rest of my life.
None.
None. None.
Never.
Encounter 3. The one that made me move outside. Summer of 1993. I'm 12. I don't sleep well. Yeah, same. It was very early morning, right after sunrise. I was excited that day because my older sister was just going into high school, and that Saturday morning was the first she was going to get to march and play with the high school band in our hometown parade. Still got the bunk bed, and I was laying down on the bottom bunk facing the wall. It was quiet, and I was laying there when suddenly I felt the weight of a full-grown man lean over me and felt the pressure of his chest across my side like he was looking in on me to see if I was awake yet. Then the weight just lifted off. Now at the time, my father was a big man, close to 300 pounds, and every floorboard in that old house creaked when he moved. My father was having coffee with my grandparents next door at the time. I spent the rest of the summer sleeping in a tent outside until school started again. Same. So, what do you think? Ghosts, youthful imagination? My extra sense has not been that bad since I have become an adult. I still deal with deja vu regularly and recurring nightmares that predict the death of a loved one. But that will be a tale for another day. Welcome to Strangetown, my dear friends. Marissa. And you can use my name. Yes. Thank you, Marissa. It's just so much.
Yeah.
It's so much craziness, and then the mention of the girl with no legs, and the praying boy, and the man in chains, and there's just like a lot of things. And since it's like an old town in Texas, It sounds like it's steeped in like a lot of questionable things in terms of history. I mean, my vote is yeah, probably ghosts. I'll
Always
always
ghosts.
ghosts. I'll be honest. When I first heard the man leaning over like story, I thought, okay, it's probably her dad. And then she went on to explain her dad, and I was like, okay, probably not her
Nope.
dad. Like, so yeah, I think it's I mean, I think ghosts. I think it's spookala bookala. I'm glad you're not having these problems anymore,
Yeah,
because
maybe.
because that would be exhausting. But yeah, I don't know. That's a wild one. I believe it.
Yeah. Um, and I guess now is a good part to point out. We've been emailing with Marissa, and she gave us plenty of stories to
We
share.
have several stories to share. So yes, so Marissa's been writing to us with many stories. We have more. Are you
Yep.
ready?
Yeah. So a second one that she wrote in, she had let us know that she had even more, and we said we wanted to
We
hear
were like,
more.
God, please, yes, tell us more.
Yep.
Yep.
These are just a few of the stories I heard from other family members that go back further than my own. My older sister woke up one night to hearing muttering in our room. She was sleeping on the bunk, and I was on the top bunk. She believed it was me talking, so she sat up to bump the bottom of the bunk. I used to do that to my sister.
I always wanted bunk beds, but
No, you don't. I fell off the top bunk, trust me.
okay, fair enough.
She believed it was me talking, so she sat up to bump the bottom of the bunk. When she saw a small boy knelt near the foot of her bed, his hands were in claps, eyes closed, praying. He ended his prayer and just disappeared.
No, we don't need praying boys by our bed. No, no. I mean, I can get down with the fact that he was just like doing his thing and then he pieced out, but like,
But no,
but
but like the
no,
fact that he no, it's
no.
not. It's very
It
unsettling.
makes me nauseous.
Yeah. My grandmother told us one day that she was doing dishes and looked up in the kitchen window and in the front yard. My older sister was about 3 or so at the time. Grandma said she saw a little girl in a red dress with dark hair running down the driveway towards the road. My grandmother ran out the house to chase her, thinking it was my older sister, but as she got closer, she saw that the child had no visible legs.
Nope. 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 I can't.
The child had no visible legs below the bottom of her dress. The child made it to the property line and faded away. This was in broad daylight.
It's the lack of legs.
Yeah, so it was the child was levitating
Was
then.
levitate like just floating top half, I guess, just
Yeah.
moving. I guess really booking it, right? Because the kid was running, so she was just hauling ass with no. I mean,
Flying.
she was just yeah. I mean, she was just hauling ass down the driveway with no legs. Damn.
Remember the family cemetery? The Slaughter family who has a son that passed away at the age of 4 and a daughter who passed away at the age of 3. Both were laid to rest next to their parents.
Well, it fits the bill.
Yep.
I want to know like were they dressed like ye olde, like you
Oh,
know,
that's
like
yeah.
I'd like to know. Like I know she mentioned a red dress, but like what
I
did
want to
it?
know the garb.
I want to know. I
Yeah.
want to know what that looked like. Just curious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A few years after moving to the property in the late 70s, my grandmother was diagnosed with cancer. At the time, my aunt still lived at home with them. My aunt said she was very upset, crying in the living room late at night when a glowing woman in a white dress appeared in front of her.
Oh.
She did not speak, she only reached out and rubbed my aunt's cheek. The late
Then
aunt's cheek,
then it
then
was
it was dark again.
yeah.
Yeah.
No. I mean, it's nice.
I think the spirit was trying to be comforting, but it's creepy.
I just need spirits to know that like we get the intention, but like don't touch people.
Don't
You
touch me.
know? Like you don't need to
Yeah.
you don't even honestly, you don't even need to show up. Like, you know, it's just kind of it's not we don't need
Yeah.
it. We don't need it.
Yeah. My cousin once saw a floating face smile at her from the top of the fridge.
Nope.
Like its head was leaning over the top, looking down. We regularly heard footsteps. The doors would lock on their own. My sisters and I would always run down the long hallway to go out the back door as fast as we could because it always felt like something was right behind us. Oh, I hate that
Hate
feeling.
that.
We would constantly hear things that hit the windows at night, like somebody was throwing tiny rocks at them. Floating face above the fridge. Hell, that's a good diet plan.
That's a surefire way to never eat again for the rest of my life. Floating faces above the fridge. You know what it gives me? It gives me like Big the Grudge energy when she opens up the closet and there's
Yeah.
just a face coming down from. You know what I mean? Like we can't have that.
Yeah. No.
We can't
No,
have that.
thank you.
Also, what the fuck is the ghost doing up there? We don't need to be up there. Get down, you hooligan.
Yeah, just go away.
Yeah.
Stop messing around.
Stop it.
Here's the big one. If that wasn't
As
all
if
big
all
enough.
of that was yeah, right.
My great aunt and uncle had come from New York to visit my grandparents. They had all been up late visiting, and my great uncle fell asleep in the easy chair, so they just let him be. My great uncle told us the next morning that he woke up with a start in the middle of the night, to dragging metallic noise. He saw a man walking across the living room wearing chains on his hands and feet. He said he only saw him for a second or two before he was gone, but that was enough for him.
That makes me sad.
That makes me very sad.
I don't want that. I want that ghost to be free and happy.
Yeah.
You know?
That one, that's very, very, very sad.
That's crazy bananas crazy.
Yeah.
Just all all of that. I don't know. It's so much.
If I remember more, I will let you know. Stay strange, Marissa.
The fact that there's potentially more.
It's just very nauseating.
Like why did you stay? Like why did you guys stay for so like I understand it sounds like the money situation and stuff. Like I wouldn't make it longer. I too would sleep outside in a tent, and that's saying something because I don't do camping. You know? So like I don't know.
Yeah.
All the power to y'all. I wouldn't have been able to deal with that. I think the one that's most spookala boogala for me is probably the face above the fridge.
Surefire way to make sure I never eat again.
The little boy praying by the bed wigs me out a lot too.
The woman in the white.
A
freaks
woman
me out.
touching.
Touching. Because, yeah.
I mean, she sounds like a very sweet woman, but no,
Trying to comfort, but no.
but no. Anyway, Marissa, thank you for all of these. Yes, of course, if you have more stories, we'd love to hear them. And in fact, we do have another one coming up in a bit.
Yep.
But that was wild. So we have another one. This is from listener Bradley. Oh, it's not from Bradley. Bradley was just writing in with I'm mistaken. Was just writing in with a suggestion.
Oh.
So we can skip Bradley. It's just Marissa. This whole episode's Marissa.
Okay.
Oh, a missing persons case.
I think that was a topic. So
Another
then are we going
topic.
to this?
Let's go to Alyssa.
Okay. So this is from listener Alyssa, who is also a dear friend of mine. And I have a Spookla Bookla account with this.
It's a handwritten Spookala Bookla account.
It's a handwritten Spookala Bookla. So, hey y'all, my name is Alyssa. I've been living at my grandmother's house for a year now. Unfortunately, earlier this year, she has passed away. Well, not long after her passing, I was at work and my mom was checking the cameras at the house. And there was this clear as day white orb. It was in the top left corner of the camera, and she'd been seeing it regularly, and she was convinced it was just cobwebs and asked me to dust all the cameras.
Oh.
I did as I was told. The orb was still appearing.
Oops, not cobwebs. Okay.
Not only that, the orb was moving. Pretty sure it's grandma.
I think you're probably right.
Yep. And it still happens. Grandma still visits. I still live here, and I still feel grandma all the time. And recently, we've had power outages. When the power finally came back on, the lamp in her room was on. You wouldn't think that that's weird, but it's important to note the lamp was unplugged.
Oh, that is important to note. That's an important detail. Oh my god. You know what I like? You know what I
She
like
also,
about this so far is the woven in debunking. Big fan. Love that. Love that. Perfect.
like, you think that this is like not a big deal, but here, let me
All right.
let me take
Surprise.
care of it for
Yeah.
you. She also likes to mess in with the lights in the hallway too. I think just to let me know that she's here.
We think.
We know.
I think so.
So while Alyssa was calling to let me know about this, we were on FaceTime. Every time
Did it flicker? Did the lights flicker?
the lights flickered, and then not only that, but every time we would start talking about grandma, the call would drop.
What? Grandma?
Every single time we were trying to talk about it, the call dropped.
That's spookala bookala.
It was very interesting, and we got a kick out of it because we're like, Grandma doesn't like being talked about.
Yeah, she's like, watch your fucking mouths.
Leave me alone. I am just visiting. I'm doing nothing
Leave
wrong.
me out of this. I love that though. That's great.
Yeah. So, Alyssa feels nothing. She doesn't feel like Grandma's like an angry spirit or anything like
So
that.
she's not
She was a
spooked.
little. No, she's not spooked at all. Grandma did have dementia at the end of her time, and she did often mess with lights
Oh, okay.
in her so it kind of just definitely
Like
feels
fits the
very on
bill.
brand for Grandma.
Okay. All right. As long as Grandma Ghost doesn't have dementia and she's not dealing with that anymore.
Yeah. It kind of just feels very nice and peaceful in the house, kind of a thing. And with everything, it's just like, oh, it's just Grandma. It's just,
That's
it's very welcomed and nice.
that's kind of like
I
nice
just thought it was,
and comforting.
yeah, I thought it was great listening to the story and her trying to tell me what Grandma was doing, and the call kept dropping. And like one or two times, okay, fine, but every time she started talking about Grandma, the call would drop.
She's
Every
like, and
time,
you've
and I
said
was like, I'm
enough.
literally witnessing this. Holy crap.
I love that. That's so cool. I I want to know like how did Alyssa come to I mean, same with like Marissa earlier. Like, how did you guys like come to term with this shit to like live with it and be comfortable with it and just be like, okay, this is fine. Like, how does one become unbothered by this? So
But yeah, I don't know how Marissa became so comfortable with it because that just sounds like some scary,
that sounds like a scary
terrifying
fucking environment.
things.
I would be less scared in Alyssa's
Alyssa's
situation.
environment, yeah,
Yeah. Um.
and that I think that's where it is. Is Alyssa always felt at peace at Grandma's house,
Right. Yeah.
and it was a comforting thing. So yeah, like Grandma's the worst she's doing is messing with some lights,
Right.
hanging
So
out
it's
as
like
an orb.
also grandma. P.S. Though, like electric bills.
Yeah, come on,
Like,
come
come
on.
on. Let's just think about your granddaughter. That's all. You know.
Yeah,
We got-
think about the granddaughter.
Yeah. I'm just saying. Like, I'm not trying to criticize, but maybe find a different route. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's all I have to say on the matter.
So this episode is brought to you by Marissa with with a sprinkle of Alyssa.
Yeah,
That
Marissa and
rhymes.
Alyssa. It's the Issa episode. Thank you for taking the time to write in. Um, we, I would love to do. Listener episodes are like my favorite. So I mean, I would love to do a million of these this year if we could. So
Yeah. Did we do 3 last year?
I think we did 3 or 4. We did.
So we did 3 in 2023. How fun would it be to do 4 in 2024?
That would be fun. Plus 4 is my lucky number. So
So is mine.
oh well,
So
there you go. So
we got to do it.
yeah.
Come on out, fam.
So
Write in, please.
don't be shy. We're not going to make fun of you or anything. Like
No,
I mean,
not
you've
at all.
listened. We've never have. So we'd love to hear. Doesn't too big or too small. It doesn't matter. We'd love to hear them. And again, thank you for writing in, Marissa and Alyssa. And I guess just until next time.
Stay strange.